Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for each life path number for the month of September 2025. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like your own personal numerology reading, where we'll take a deep dive into your own personal numbers, please book some time with me. My information's in the description box below, and I would love to work with you. All right, let's go ahead and see what this month has in store. Life path number 1, you are going to be working with your own energy of the 1, but you have the influencing energy of the 19 for the month of September. So when we work with the 19-1 cycle, now the 19-1 is a karmic energy, and so it can bring in some challenges that you may have to move through, but those challenges are pushing you to take a greater risk, say yes to a new beginning or a new opportunity, try something that you haven't tried before, especially if it feels aligned for you. You know, there's something to be said about going outside your comfort zone when it feels aligned, as opposed to going outside of your comfort zone when it doesn't feel good. And we want to push for the going outside your comfort zone when it does feel good. And maybe you have to overcome some fear that might be holding you back. But this is the month for you to step into your power, for you to be assertive, for you to say yes to the things that you feel drawn towards, that motivate you, where you are able to express your ideas and your ingenuity in order to create something spectacular that comes from your own personal vision. You know, that is the 1 energy. And the 19 brings the motivation. It brings the opportunities for those new beginnings, right? Your job is to say yes to those opportunities, especially as you move through the month of September. So if something comes in for you this month, and it's something you've always wanted to do, or something that maybe you didn't even realize was an option, and it comes in for you, you may have to overcome self-doubt, some fear that may surface for you around whatever this is. But your job is to find your way to say yes to it, and at least try it, or be curious about it and explore a bit further. It's pushing you to recognize all that you bring to the table, the gifts that you have to share, the wisdom, the intelligence, whatever it may be. You know, 1 energy, y'all are the trailblazers. You are meant to be the leaders, leading alongside of others, but blazing the trail that hasn't been blazed before with your ideas, with your vision. You are not meant to do it like everyone else has done it. You are not meant to fit into the mold. You're meant to do it in a unique way that probably a lot of people haven't even thought of. And so you might not get a lot of buy-in initially because it's new. People aren't used to it. It's change. It's something inventive, right? So you will likely have to create whatever this is, or build whatever this is, or try whatever this is to show people that it can be done, to show people why it's a resource or a solution, and to show people why they need it, right? So, and this is an opportunity, or has the potential to be an opportunity this month, to say yes to a new beginning, to a new start, to a new perspective, fresh way of seeing something, fresh way of doing something. This is going to require you to break free from your stubbornness, right? Ones tend to be quite stubborn, which usually will serve you well in a lot of situations. But this is going to be one of those situations where you have to overcome that stubbornness to try something new. So in other words, if there's something that you've been moving towards or wanting or have been trying to build, and it's just not falling in line, it's just not working, this month in September, you could see those new opportunities present. And it's within those new opportunities that the path will open up to you. And it's very likely that that path is one you haven't been down before. It's very likely that that path is one that you're going to have to decide what it looks like, right? You'll know where the path begins, but you're not going to know what the end of that path looks like, because you're the one that's creating it as you go, i.e. the trailblazer. This month is so much about saying yes to the opportunities, the new beginnings, the fresh starts, releasing what is no longer serving you, releasing the old, shedding that skin, not trying to hold on to the things that have been done or that have served their purpose, but releasing those and opening yourself up to a new landscape, another, a new chapter, not even just a new chapter, a new whole book. And you get to decide how those chapters in this new book are written. And this month will give you an indication or some greater idea of what this next chapter or this next book is going to look like for you. But it's not going to give you all the answers because you're the one who's got the pen in your hand and you're going to write the story. And nobody could write it like you as a one. So very powerful energy here to, again, shake off what is not serving you. Lay it to rest, let it go, leave it in the past. You're moving forward. And again, it's not going to be a journey where you have a roadmap. Like you'll have the indication, especially if you follow numerology, but you'll have an idea, right? But you're not going to know the exact steps to take. You're going to have to make those decisions as a one and create that path. So it's very exciting as well, but it can be a little bit daunting and it can definitely bring up that self-doubt that ones often struggle with. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be uprooting and changing everything in your life this month. You may be building on things, right? But moving in a different direction with certain things where you've been moving in one direction and you're just not seeing the results or it just doesn't feel aligned anymore, it just doesn't feel right. This is the month to shift gears, to see from fresh eyes, from stand back, to be able to stand back and see a broader perspective. And not only that, be able to see the opportunity for what it is and say yes to it. Be curious, go down the rabbit hole and see where it takes you. The 19-1 is also a love vibration. So there could be definitely strong themes of relationships coming in for you. Business partnerships even, friendships, romantic interests, soulmate connections. This 9 energy in the 19 brings in this like deep soul connection. So you could see breakthroughs within your relationships. You could meet people who feel very significant for you for this new chapter or this new book. And they will likely play a significant role. You might not meet all the characters in September, but you might meet a few. And the people that you meet in September or the path that you start to walk down will definitely hold new characters. And it's your job, again, to find your courage and your faith, to trust those individuals, to be vulnerable, to let your guard down a little bit, and to be open to see what they can bring into this next leg of your journey. But because the 19, again, is a love vibration, you could also see areas within your current relationship, if you have one, go down a new path and open up to, something greater. So you could see your relationships grow more deeply at this time. Again, opening you up to something much, much better for all involved. And that doesn't mean it has to be apart. It could certainly be together. But what you're working towards could, again, be sort of like leveling up within that connection. There could be a lot of healing. There could be a lot of coming together. But whatever it is, there's rewards after the many obstacles you likely have moved through with this person, and you'll be able to see how things can fall into place in this new chapter. And I pulled an animal wisdom message for you all, and you got skunk energy. And what I found really interesting about this, or what stood out the most, was to, again, let your guard down this month. Don't be so quick to be reactive or defensive. Once they get burnt, that stubbornness can come in. You just want to make sure you're not being stubborn or petty, that you are, that you trust yourself, that if you're vulnerable and someone takes advantage of that, you can move through it. It's not the end of the world. You will find your way through it. But you will be able to really, truly connect with the people that you're really meant to connect with this month and beyond by being vulnerable and open and trusting. So be really careful about being overly defensive this month, or overly rigid, right? And this kind of comes back to like if you've been burnt, if your trust has been shattered or something like that. Be really mindful about where you're carrying that into your other connections, where you're carrying that forward. And yeah, you might be like inclined to spray quickly, right? I'm talking about skunk energy. But I would say hold the spray and, get to know the person. Meet people where they're at. If someone resurfaces from the past this month, instead of seeing the person in the light of who they were, see them in the light of who they are now. And don't be too reactive. Don't be too defensive. And that will satisfy the vibration of the 19 because you're opening yourself up. You're being curious. You're exploring. You're saying yes to the new opportunity that may present. Not always easy to do, especially when emotions get involved. But with skunk energy coming through, it's kind of that energy of hold your fire, right? Meet people where they're at, have grace and compassion and understanding for yourself and for others, and say yes to the opportunity. Even if that yes just allows you to explore, if it gives you time to explore and be curious, because then you can decide if you want to pursue. Big energy here, ones, for September. Love this for y'all. Hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now.